That's the saddest part of my story. As at the time that I returned, it was like I wasn't fully prepared to come home. I can't forget Nigeria.
Oh.
I can't. It's become part of me because I stayed there for 32 years. That's the only part of your life that you have lived to see. The day you were born, you didn't see it. People were jubilating your naming ceremony. You didn't know what was happening. The day you would die, people will be crying, people will be doing whatever. You are gone. But the only one that you can see physically enjoy is your beautiful home that you have with your husband, your children around you. You are always happy. That is life.
Hello guys, welcome to BEFE'S space. If you are new here, you're highly welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. My name is Kina Befe, and guys, today I have my mama with me again. I know most of you remember mommy. Yes, most of you remember mommy because if you have been with me since, let's say last 2 years, you remember mommy. Mommy came on my channel and it was an interesting discussion with mommy on my channel. I'm going to keep the link of that video in the description box, so do well to go watch that video after watching this. So today mommy is here with me again and we're about to discuss something very, very important. Trust me when I say very, very important. So without much wasting of time, let me introduce to you mommy. And mommy, you're welcome to the channel.
Thank you so much.
Mommy, please, so many people did not see when you did that video the last time, so please introduce yourself, tell us your name and where you come from.
My name is Jennifer Anagbo. I'm a Ghanaian.
Yes.
Hail from the Volta region. Actually from the Anglo side.
Anglo.
The same district with the former President Jerry Rawlings.
Okay.
We are from the same local government.
Mommy comes from, I would say, one of the most beautiful region in Ghana. If you've never been to the Volta region before, you should visit the Volta region. Mommy, I know you stayed in Nigeria for a while, so tell us about it.
I stayed in Nigeria for a while, and Nigeria actually is a very wonderful place to stay because take it or leave it, there's nowhere you will stay that is perfect. But it is the way you present yourself to the people and the way they accept you that you make even a foreign land a home.
Yes.
For me, Nigeria has been a home to me more than even here in Ghana. Because I have so many relations that I still, that's why I found that I left almost some 12 years back. I still have close relationship with them. We talk every day and it's been a home far away from home. I can't forget Nigeria.
Oh.
I can't. It's become part of me because I stayed there for 32 years. I had 2 of my kids there. I don't have friends in Ghana as I have in Nigeria.
Because you went to Nigeria when you were way younger.
Yes, I got to Nigeria even before, at the age of 32.
What were you doing in Nigeria when you were back?
Oh, okay. I was a teacher in one of the well-noted schools in Lagos. That's Home Science Association School in Ikoyi.
Okay.
On number 5 Roxon Road. Okay. And that school, notably the time that I was there, we had ministers' children, we had the former President Buhari when he was the military head of state. Okay. We had the daughter with us. We had so many prominent people in Nigeria whose children passed through that school, and actually some of them passed through my hand. The relationship with myself, my headmistress, the owners of the school was amazing. It was amazing. I never thought I could have such a relationship. I was more at home there.
You know, people used to have this perception about Nigeria. I don't know if that was the perception about Nigeria back then. And Nigeria is a bad place. Nigeria is not a place to go. Was that the perception back then? And if that was the perception, what motivated you to go there regardless of what you heard about Nigeria?
Actually, before I left, I had that perception. And funny enough, My brother went to buy a book, 99 Days in Agege. And when I read the book, it was very frightening. But I'm somebody that is very adventurous. I want to see things for myself, and I want to take a bold step to see what people are seeing. I see the two sides of life. After reading the book actually put some fear in me, but I prepared my mind. But unfortunately, when I got there, it wasn't that bad. That's what I say. The way you present yourself, that's how people will accept you. Yes. If you make yourself approachable, people will approach you. If you want to make friends, you make yourself friendly. So people will really get to you. So I didn't have that perception about Nigeria when I got there. It was a different version altogether, because there was nothing that I needed that people were not ready to give me. Because one, the way I handled the kids with me, some were, parents were even giving up. Some teachers told the parents to even withdraw the children from the school because the children were not doing well. But by the time they come to my class, my approach, parents were really satisfied with
their
kids, and the children were more of my friends, and they brought a bond between me and their parents. So there was nothing that I needed that I didn't have. It's the way you present yourself that people will accept you.
The last time we had an interview together, you delved in depth into this particular topic. So guys, like I said, go and watch that video after this one. So let's talk about your return. You made so many friends there. You networked with a lot of people over there, but you decided to return home. For some people, when they travel somewhere and they've built their life around that place, they find it difficult to return back home. Why did you choose to return? I know this question might sound sarcastic in a way whereby, why won't you go back home? But trust me, there are so many people that are scared of going back home after they've stayed in a particular country for a long period of time. So why did you choose to return back home?
That's a very interesting question. At the time I made up my mind to come back home was when I was about to retire.
Okay.
And by that time, two of my children were back in Ghana. They were schooling in the university, and one had graduated. The other one was just graduated and was about to do his youth service. And one thing with me is I have a bond with my children. I don't have a daughter. I have 3 boys. They are my best friends.
Okay.
So by the time they had finished school, we communicated, and they said, "Mommy, home is home. So you still need to come back home. When you retire, you can't retire and grow old in somebody's country." But at the time I wanted to leave, actually, most of my friends discouraged me. That let my sons be here, work and come and visit me in Nigeria. But I was like, no, I still miss them. And I know by then, they still need me around them. They need my advice. They are just starting life. So I needed to come back.
Okay, Mommy, I want to know some of the things you put in place before returning back home. Because most of my viewers are Ghanaians in the diaspora. And most of them would want to return back home. What are some of the mistakes you made, some of the things you wish you knew before returning back home, and some of the things you want them to do before returning back home in order to make their stay back home fruitful and enjoyable?
That's the saddest part of my story, because as at the time that I returned, it was like I wasn't fully prepared to come home. I didn't think I was coming to meet the type of life I met. I thought things would be okay the way I was
in
Nigeria, not knowing that it was a different ball game. Before I came, I wanted to start a business of my own. I want to switch off from the teaching.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have a franchise with a company in Nigeria that I'll be importing some drinks,
Okay.
some soft drinks, which are not in Ghana. So I came here, started the registration, went to Food and Drugs, registered my company and all that. And along the line, the demands were just crazy. So I had to back out of it. And then I now started thinking of what to do, which I should have done before. The saddest part of it was that if I had known, I would have built a place to stay, like have my own house, not coming to rent a place. I think that's the basic thing one has to do. If you are thinking to come back home, make sure you have your own house. There are times that you cannot trust people. You may be there, be sending money for somebody to help you build a house. You come back, you will not see anything.
Did you experience something like that?
I experienced something like that, not actually building, but I sent money to a friend of mine to rent an apartment for me.
Okay.
But by the time I came, when I was coming, she told me that, oh, the place was ready. But by the time I came, I saw that there was nothing ready. She rather told one of her friends that I was coming to stay with her as a squatter. So when I came, I discovered that I had no place, as she even took pictures of the house and sent to me. Like, where is the place? So I should just hold on. So I had to stay with my sons. Fortunately, before I came, I rented a very good apartment for them. They have about a 5-bedroom house where even some of their Nigerian colleagues were staying with them when they were schooling. So when they finished, they still stayed together until I came back. So when I came back, I saw how things were. I just moved to where they were, took one of the bedrooms, and then the rest of them were, they are managing. But we live together like a big family until those who have to go back to Nigeria
Started going back.
By that time, they have finished their schooling, because they were all students in the same school, university with my sons. So we were like a very big family. If you enter my house, you won't know who is my son, who is not my child. We dine together, we cook together. I cook for everybody. We all eat together. There was so much joy in our house until we have to leave that apartment because of the harassment of the landlord.
Mommy, one thing you did mention whilst you were explaining was that when you franchised with the Nigerian company for the drinks, at a point, it's like the order became overwhelming.
It wasn't the order. I was having problem with the Food and Drugs here in Ghana. I had to bring some of those drinks from Nigeria for them to test and all that. But I think there was another competitor that had more money than I had. So by the end of the whole thing, that still franchise was given to the other person. And I lost out of it.
Wow. I'm sorry about that. Going back to when you returned and you had that misunderstanding with your friend, you had to stay with your children for a while. First of all, I know some people want to ask, didn't you have family members to give the money to rather than giving it to your friend?
You see, like the Bible says, there is a friend that is closer than a brother. And with the bitter experiences I had with my own family people, at the time that we buried my mom, it was a no-go zone. It was a no-go zone at all, because it was like my own people felt that I had so much and I was not helping them. But meanwhile, I did the best I could for them. I took some of my senior sisters' children, stayed with me, went to one of the best schools in Nigeria. One of them passed through Queen's College, which was really a school for the cream of the society in Nigeria then. There was nothing that I personally, in my own way, didn't do to help them, to support them. But they still felt I wasn't doing enough for them. At the time that my mom died and we came back, I came for the burial. The whole staff from Nigeria followed me. They stayed with me for a whole week for my mother's burial. So by the time they were leaving, some of my relatives were telling them that when we go back, they should hate me so that I'll be forced to come back. So it was a very bitter experience. From that time, I disconnected myself from them because I couldn't trust anybody. I couldn't trust any of my siblings. My mother's burial, I did everything from the beginning to the end, but they were still not satisfied. So I lost confidence in all my siblings. So instead of, committing myself or even letting them know that I want to come back, I didn't do that because I have a feeling that they had betrayed me in a way. So I trusted this friend, but we stayed together in Nigeria.
Okay, this friend of yours.
This friend of mine.
But she came before you.
She came about 5 years before I came back. So she came back with the family. They got settled. She was a nurse and I was a teacher. And her husband too was a teacher. So we were so close, very close, very, very, very close, that I could trust her with the last breath of my life. But it was like I still made a mistake somewhere. But in it all, I thank God because it's a learning process. In life, you keep on learning and you can't expect everything to be rosy. Yeah. So there will be ups and downs, but you pick up from the down and start moving forward.
Mommy, let's talk about people that intend to travel outside Ghana or outside your home country. Do you think that there's something you would have done before you moved that would have helped your return? Maybe some contacts you were supposed to make, some information you were supposed to get, knowing that you will retire back home. I know then maybe you still trusted your family.
Oh, right? Yes.
Then you still trusted your family.
Then my parents were alive.
Yes. Let's now talk to people that maybe they don't have family members. Even before they travel, they didn't even trust their family. They didn't have anybody back home. You think there is something they should put in place before traveling?
It depends on your strength financially. If you have enough money, the best advice I will give is make sure you buy a plot of land somewhere.
Okay.
And make sure the land is secured. If you have to even wall it and gate it, or put a small structure on it, put somebody there to keep it for you. So once you are there, you know that you have a landed property somewhere, then your mind starts working towards it.
On developing
it. One thing is that you can't be sure of where you are going and what you are going to do and whether you are going to make it or not. It's just a risk. Life itself is a risk. So you always have to be ready for disappointment here and there. But the best advice I will give is make sure you have a landed property. That is if you can.
If you can.
Yes.
And if the person has traveled and then the person is now making money and the person is thinking of how to invest. Now, let's say we cannot trust family to 100%. We can't trust friend. What do you think the person can do?
That's a big question. From all the lessons I have learned, first of all, trust God and put your hope in Him because He knows the end from the beginning and He knows the heart of human beings. There is no way I can look at your face and know what is inside your mind about me. Yes. We can be laughing together, eating together, even sleeping on the same bed. And what your mind is about me, there's no way I can know it unless I become a witch. But if you trust God, God will bring the right people your way in a way that you never expected. Because I have seen that the people that are helping me right now to stand are people that I didn't know from anywhere. So the only thing I want to say is put your confidence, your trust in God, and He will direct your path.
That's true. Even if you have family that you trust, you have friends that you trust, the number one person you should trust is God, because He's the only one that will not disappoint you. So Mommy, let's move away from this a bit. Let's talk about intermarriages between Nigeria and Ghana. What do you have to say about it? Do you think it's something that people should buy into? Because let's take for instance, I'm in Ghana, I get married to a Ghanaian. That's to say that if the Ghanaian is in Ghana, I automatically be in Ghana.
Yes.
So I've left my home country and I've come to stay in Ghana. So you've automatically become a Ghanaian. The same thing if you are in Nigeria. We have a lot of Ghanaians in Nigeria that got married to a Nigerian. And sometimes at old age, they may want to go back to their country. Let's say the man is a Ghanaian in Nigeria, married to a Nigerian, and when he's old, he will want to come back to his country, just like the way you retired back home. And the wife, who is a Nigerian, would want to follow or would have to follow him back home. You know, sometimes there can be some conflicts where the person will be like, I don't want to follow you. I've lived my life here all this while. It's not when I'm old, I will now go to a land that I know no one. It's not just between Nigeria and Ghana. It can be between a Togolese and a Ghanaian. But I'm just using Nigeria and Ghana because, you know, you've stayed there.
Interestingly enough, my first son is married to a Nigerian.
Oh.
An Igbo lady for that matter.
Oh.
And he is there. He's still in Nigeria with the wife. That's why the fact that we are here, he is still there with the wife. For him, Nigeria is more a home than Ghana. You see, marriage is all about understanding. Like I always tell my children, marry your friend. If the person is your friend, you have basically an understanding before even you start courtship and then you get married. So you know each other very, very well. You can trust each other very well. That's why the fact that human beings are human beings.
Yeah.
You may think you know the person
So
inside
much.
out. By the time you start finding the other side of the person, you'll be discouraged. But we are all Africans. Our traditions are virtually almost the same.
Yes.
So you can decide to make anywhere home. Anywhere in Africa can be your home. Like I said from the beginning, the way you present yourself to the people is how they will accept you. If you're married to a Nigerian as a Ghanaian, you frequent your wife's relatives. Make them your relatives. Because this is Africa. We don't marry only wife or husband. We marry the family. So you will have a good rapport with your in-laws. So if you are accepted in your husband or your wife's family, you have it all. You can live comfortably even on the moon. Nobody worries you. It's the way you present your life, yourself to the people. That's how they will accept you. But if you are hostile, you are like, this is my in-laws, my in-laws are wicked, they don't like me, you are separating yourself from them, you don't want to mix. They will always detach themselves from you. Maybe even during the time of courtship, the two of you should visit each other's homes. So your parents will get to know the man or the woman you want to marry.
Yeah.
You will see from their reaction whether they will accept the person or not. So that's the mistake most young men do or young women do. They just say, oh, I love this one. But you can't marry the man without the relatives. So you make sure you have a good foundation with your in-laws to be, because you are going to that home. Your children are going to become members of that family, whether you like it or not. You have to establish a good rapport from the beginning. And then it's always said the way you make your bed,
That's where you lay.
that's how you lay on it. So the foundation matters a lot. I remember last week, my friend, one of my friends that is in Nigeria now, saw my son. I was like, oh, you're not looking too good. Is it that your wife is not taking good care of you? Why not go back to Ghana? He only told my friend that he's going to pray about it. He's a married man. So he and the wife can decide where they want to stay. When she told me, I said, yes.
That's true.
That is true. The Bible says that a man should leave the father and the mother, and he and the wife become one. Now that he's married, my hands are like this. If he decides to visit, if he decides not to visit, I'm okay.
You said something about when a lady marries a man, he marries the family. It's vice versa. So let's take, for instance, this is not about Nigeria and Ghana now, please. This maybe even inside Ghana between two tribes. Let's say you go and meet, as a lady, you go and meet the man's family for the first time, and you see that you are not accepted. But you and this man love yourself so much. What's the way forward? The man is saying, I'm not going to leave you. It's you I want. You know that is this man you want. Maybe you've prayed about it and feel like this is the man for me. But the family is not accepting you. What can these two young individuals do?
That's a big question, because it can even happen from the same town. You are from the same town, but the two families will not want to agree for their children to marry each other.
Yeah.
At times, it's a risk, especially this thing we call marriage. Since I started talking, somebody may be asking, so where is her husband? Where is her husband? From my personal experience, if your parents are against the person you want to marry, you have to sit down and think twice, because it is always said that when an old man is sitting under a tree, he can see even farther than a young person that is standing on top of a tree. So if you want to marry, especially your father or your mother is against that marriage, my dear, the best thing is to back out, because you don't know what they have seen before they don't want you to go into that particular home or town or country. If you still make up your mind that that is where you are going, remember that when it is sour, it is your home, your people that you still go back to. From my personal experience, when I want to get married to the man I married, we were from the same village. But my father was like, out of all the families in this village, is this a family you want to marry into? I say, yes, Daddy. He said, I know this family, I know them very well. Are you sure? I said, yeah. He said, for me, don't venture. Because the end result is what he has been looking at. I will always say, if my father were to be alive, it's powder that I will pour on his head, because all that he predicted came to pass. But when I was going in at my eyes, I said, oh, this man will change. But the truth is, human beings don't change unless God transforms the person. So if you say you are going to put your head into it, despite the fact that your parents are against it, then you should be prepared for what you are going to meet there. If it's good, you stay there. If it's bad, you stay there. Because for me, marriage is a thing to be enjoyed, not a burden to bear. You have to enjoy it, because that's the only part of your life that you have lived to see. The day you were born, you didn't see it. People were jubilating your naming ceremony, you didn't know what was happening. The day you will die, people will be crying, you are gone. But the only one that you can see physically enjoy is your beautiful home that you have with your husband, your children around you. You are always happy. That is life. But when you cannot enjoy marriage because of relatives, because of character of your husband or your wife, then your life becomes a life of misery. So for me, from my personal experience, it's always good to listen to your parents. Take it or leave it. If you go, it's not good, you will still go back to them and find out why were they against that particular personality. Marriage is risk, but when you do it with God, you are comfortable. If you start it with God, if the foundation is with God, you are comfortable. If it goes bad, you go back to him.
Yes.
I ask you, you permitted me to go into this thing. This is not what I'm expecting. Lord, do something about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mommy, thank you. That advice is very candid. Thank you very much for that advice. I know it will help so many people watching this video. Mommy, you are 72 years now.
Yes.
Mommy, the last time you came on my channel, you were 70.
Yes.
The last time Mommy came on my channel, she was 70, and to God be the glory. Mommy is 72. Mommy turned 72 few months back.
And that's September
September.
24th.
Yes. So this year, Mom will be 73. So September, we are celebrating Mommy's birthday. Mom will be 73. We are praying to God that God keeps Mommy in good health, sound mind, and may all her dreams come to pass. Mommy,
Amen.
I want you to say something to my viewers. 72 years of your life on earth. I want you to give out a very important advice that you think the young, the old should take home after watching this video.
The best advice I can give is, first of all, the way you eat, your food. You are what you eat. You make sure you eat well. Not only filling your tummy, really learn how to cook. Cook what your body needs. A lot of vegetable, a lot of protein, not too much of carbohydrates. And I will always advise the best drink for you to take is water. Take a lot of water, eat well, and exercise. That's another thing. Even as I'm at my age, every day I make sure I walk nothing less than 4 kilometers every day to keep yourself moving. Eat well, exercise, be happy, make yourself happy. Don't let your joy, your happiness depend on another person. Do whatever you can do to make yourself happy, because you can't buy happiness with money. No matter the amount of money you have, you can't buy peace of mind. And the other thing I will also say is that make God your number one friend. In the quiet of your home, he is the only one that is there. When you want to cry, cry to him. You want to rejoice, rejoice with him. Be satisfied with whatever God has given you. Be contented. Lack of contentment push people to do so many vices. Whatever God has given you at a particular time, accept it and be grateful. Once you are able to wake up each day, you open your eyes, you can see, you can feel, you can touch. It's a gift from God. You can't buy life.
Yeah.
For that cause, the first thing you wake up to do is, God, thank you for life. Because you went to bed with some people the same time, and some didn't wake up at all. Some woke up in the hospital, but you are able to wake up, able to have your senses intact. You can move about, you can just jump up and continue your day. Say thank you to God. What else can I say? Make friends that you can share your secrets with. People that you can move with, that have the same mindset with you. Because the Bible says iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
So people that have the similar mindset with you, move along with them, and you see that you will live a longer life, a peaceful life, a life filled with joy.
Mommy, thank you so much for that advice.
Yeah, so much.
That's
welcome.
a motherly advice. That's an advice from experience, and I hope you run along with it. Mommy, I'm sure for coming on the channel.
Thank you so much.
Mommy, teach me voter language. What's Yamin Shra like thank you in, or God bless you in voter?
Okay, mau ne yirao.
Man,
Mau
mau
ne
ne
yirao.
mau ne yirao.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for gracing the channel. God bless you.
And bless
Guys,
you too.
I'm going to drop Mommy's contact in the description box. God lays it in your heart to support Mommy. Please, you can send her something. I'm going to drop her number. Please don't bust her phone with calls. Don't disturb Mommy. Yes, you on WhatsApp you can chat her. If you want to be close to her, you can chat her on WhatsApp and all of that. But most importantly, the Lord lays it in your heart to support Mommy. Please, I'll be super grateful and thankful if Mommy calls me one day and say, Befe, someone from the channel dropped something for me. I'll be super grateful. And trust me, what you do for one, you're doing for God, or you're doing to God. Don't forget. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Mommy, thank you so much for coming on the channel. Mommy's going to come again. No, that's how I'll keep bringing Mommy. If you want Mommy to come again on the channel, please let me know. And if you have any question for Mommy, drop it in the comment section. That will propel me to have another video with mommy. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please do well to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the bell notification so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. And until we meet next time, do not forget to always smile because you're beautiful when you do.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.